Hi folks, Gary here with RideCache. Today I'm going to do a walkthrough demonstration using my wife's 2014 Porsche Cayman S. You know, we've done some videos recently and highlighted some really special classic vehicles on RideCache. There are a lot of vehicles documented and preserved on RideCache that have 50 plus years of history, thousands and thousands of documents and press and awards and all those things. And some people have seen that as, well, RideCache is really only good for those really special, high value, well documented cars. So I wanted to show you the power of RideCache for your everyday cars or your newer cars. It's a great tool to organize and manage and preserve everything that you do to and with your vehicles, even the newer ones. So here we have my wife's Guards Red 2014 Porsche Cayman S. Beautiful car. She loves it. And we're going to use it today to walk you through even a car that's just 2 years old, kind of the rich RideCache that's already being built around this car. So the first thing I'll point out is you see on the main page here for this car, the name Princess Carriage 3, implying that there's been 2 previous ones. That's for another video. And you'll see the profile picture and then the picture gallery, the information about the car here. If I click on the edit button, you'll see the information that is entered, the basic information for a car. And you'll see this extended information block down here that has things like the purchase date, where the car is located, the purchase price, odometer information, some of that information that is, pretty private. So the extended information will always be private. I show you that just so that I can show you when you view the car here and you see my purchase information, an odometer, these things that are below this orange currently owned by Gary block, that's actually private information that I'm seeing because I'm the owner. But if you were to navigate to this car on RideCache right now yourself, you would see this information at the top in these images, but you would not see that information. That is private to me. All right, and then you see the picture gallery here. So I can bring up the pictures of this car in the gallery, beautiful images. This is the traditional Central Texas Hill Country baby in the blue bonnets picture. Our baby happens to be a Porsche in Guards Red. So we felt compelled to take that picture this last spring. You'll see here's a picture of the first speeding ticket issued to this car. My teenage son happened to be driving at the time, so as you can imagine, that created some excitement in the household. The first time we activated launch control was picture worthy, and then some other just beautiful pictures of the car. So a great way to show off the car and an easy way to find some of those beautiful pictures in RideCache. But the thing that I really wanted to walk you through today were these tabs. So the tab interface in RideCache is really where the power of RideCache resides. So tasks, parts, papers, events, resources, notes, and people. Let's walk through those really quickly. So tasks first, and I've got these filtered. There are these nice search and filters at the top of all these lists. I've got these filtered for completed tasks right now, so you can see all the things that we have actually done to the car, and you'll see there's quite a bit. Again, for a car that's only a couple of years old, you've got factory maintenance, tire replacements, 10,000 mile service, an upgrade to some clear side marker lamps that we wanted. Let me just open one of these and I'll just show you a more recent one. So here we replaced the front brake pads in preparation for a track day at Texas World Speedway. And a couple things to point out here. First of all, you see the badges here at the top. Medium priority maintenance is the type of task, and then the task has been completed. So you see those badges there. And the notes about the task or the description in preparation for a track day. But you'll notice that there's a lot of pictures here as well. And one of the things that we wanted to do with RideCache is encourage you to take pictures of absolutely everything. So not just your car, but every task, every part, every event, and then we help you organize those according to those items so that they're not just in one big pile in your account. So you'll see here pictures from the actual brake work that I had done on this car. Now I had this done at a workshop because they needed to inspect the car and sign the official inspection for PCA for the track day anyway. They were gracious enough to allow me to watch, and I understand because my father owned the shop. In our shop we had a sign that said hourly rate $50. $75 if you watch. So fortunately they didn't upcharge me here for watching, and I was happy to be able to do that, because as a DIY guy, I'm going to want to do this job myself the next time it comes around. So take pictures of everything, load those pictures with the task. So that's the first thing. The other thing you'll notice here is we have a great list of associated parts that are associated with this task, the providers that are associated with the task, and then the papers that are associated. So on the parts that are associated, you'll see a set of brake pads here that came off of the car, and the status you see there are in inventory. If I actually open that part up, you'll see a picture of the brake pads there, and that's actually off the website where I bought those. The provider as Targa Porsche Workshop in Austin, TPWS. The paper, so I've actually got the receipt loaded for that install. And I've got a note down here that just says, these pads were taken off when they had 26,000 miles on them. Look to still have about 30% of pad material left. We're going to use these as track spares. So this part is fully documented in RideCache as a part of this task. You'll see the brake pad sensors with the status of discarded, the provider again, and the receipt. So a really nice way to document the tasks that you do with your vehicle. Now, another thing is, tasks certainly are things that you need to do to your vehicle, but sometimes tasks are things that you want to do to your vehicle. So there's another status here called a wish list. So you can create a task with a status of wish, and I've just filtered for those here, and you'll see the wish list here for this car. The most recent one that's been added. We really like the front end on the new GTS. We prefer the LED, the flat LED style lights, as opposed to the round lights that are on the current car. So we've added that as a wish list. We've added that part to the parts list as wanted. And then the provider that would provide that would be Suncoast. So that's all here and captured. And if I clicked into this part, I've actually got the URL to the page at Suncoast that sells the part with all the purchase information. So I'm really kind of capturing the research that I'm doing for this wish list item, so I don't have to keep going back and researching it again and again when I finally have the time and or the money to actually do this upgrade. And you'll see several other things here on the wish list. I could also just say, show me all the things that are still to do. I've got another front brake pad replacement in here. This is a little ways out, but set that as a recurring task. So every 20,000 miles or so, it tells me, hey, let's get those brake pads on. Same thing for the front tires. And then there's a recall that's waiting for this car. So you'll see it's a powerful way to manage everything that you do to your car. Next tab is parts. So the parts list, you see that aero kit right at the top there with the wanted status. You'll see tires, other brake pad sets, brake fluid, tow hook for the track day, all those things entered as parts for this car and recorded. Now you'll notice some things here with the status of discarded. One of the nice things about RideCache is even when you replace a part, as long as you've done the work to enter the information, you can take a part that's been taken off the car and discarded, give it a discarded status, and you never lose that history. So you can go back and say, what were those tires that I ran 2 times ago that performed so well, did so well at the track, or wore really well, and you can go back and you've still got that in the record. It's not lost. So you even have the discarded and inventory kind of items, as well as your installed items in your parts list. Papers, a long list of papers, again, more than you might think for a new car. When you get a new car, you get a lot of paperwork now. So I've got maintenance plan agreements, tire and wheel warranty, official maintenance schedule, Porsche financing, the loan papers. I have all those papers stored in here, and the reason that you can do that confidently in RideCache is RideCache has a very powerful commercial grade security and privacy system. So let's look at that privacy while we've got these paper lists open here. So you'll see 3 different privacy icons in RideCache, and you can assign these privacy levels to any item within RideCache, not just a vehicle at the top, but every item that's associated with a vehicle below. So the 3 are, this one, the green world, is the public privacy setting, so pretty much everyone can see that. anyone that comes to RideCache can see an item as a public privacy level. On the other end is the red eyeball with the slash through it. That's the private setting. Only the vehicle owner, you as the owner, or someone you designate as a driver can see things with a private setting. So that's someone that you fully trust, your mechanic, a family member that you want to designate as a driver. You can do that to allow someone else to come in and actually work in your account. They can't, because they're not an owner, they can't actually delete your vehicle, but they can do pretty much anything else that you can do in the account. So it's really nice to have that privacy level. But you'll notice a lot of these papers in this list are marked as private. So they are stored, they're archived, they're preserved. I can't lose them. If the house was flooded or burned down, I would not lose those papers. I've got digital copies of them, but they are private, so no one else can see them. The third privacy level that you'll see here is this little yellow-orange vehicle, and that is called riders only. So we have a nice third privacy level between fully public and fully private on RideCache that is called riders. You can think of riders like friends on Facebook or something, but riders are only specific to one vehicle, and it's not two-way. So just because you're a rider doesn't mean that I have any kind of privileges back to you in your account, that I made you a rider for this vehicle. So there are some things that I'm okay with people that I know and that are riders in the vehicle seeing, but I probably don't want the general public to have access to. This authenticity certificate is a good example of that. I've made it riders only status. So there is my authenticity certificate for this particular vehicle. So you'll see, lots of documentation already for this car, receipts, warranties, everything that has to do with this car, even magazine articles. There was a lot of great press on this vehicle when it first came out, so we captured, scanned all of the great articles and magazine publications for this vehicle. Recall notices, just goes kind of on and on. So lots to capture here, already building the history for this car. Events, a lot of events. We've taken this car to several club races and shows, club meetings, media shoots. Here is, I'll open the last Driver's Ed event at TWS that we went to with this car. And you'll see again, lots of pictures, associated papers. Here's a track day insurance policy for this event, associated with this event. And then the notes, even the notes of how the event went, what the feedback we got from instructors for the event, and then lots of pictures. Again, I always take a lot of pictures. There's my son with his instructor getting ready to go out for his session, and you can see from the hand signal there where his college affiliation and loyalty is. So that's an event documentation. And then resources, another really important thing. There's lots of resources that we count on to manage and do things with our vehicles. So they are all captured here, from shops and vendors to websites and forums. All of them captured here. The nice thing about this is if I open up one of those records, like here's that Targa Porsche workshop that we use here in Austin. And not only does it show me the information about the shop, the URL, the address and phone number for quick reference, but it even gives me a list of all the parts and associated tasks that are associated with that vendor, and papers as well. So anything that I have, I can quickly look up what's all the work that's been done by this shop, or what are all the parts that I bought from this vendor. So it's a really nice kind of central reference place, and then you make notes there about those resources as well. So that's resources. Then we have the last two tabs are notes. Any notes that you want to make about a vehicle or any of these things. You can attach notes, simple notes to tasks, parts, papers, events, and so it's a handy way to just kind of make notes about your vehicles. And then people. So there's a people tab because you can again assign drivers. I've assigned my son as a driver, and he's taken the liberty to go in and put a lot of things on the wish list for this car. These other three are actually riders. That means that they went in their own RideCache account, found this car, and clicked a button that says, can I be a rider in your car? I approved them, and now when they look at this account, for instance, on that paper list, they'll see everything that's public and everything that's designated as riders only. So there you go. So there is your walkthrough of the RideCache account for my wife's Guards Red 2014 Porsche Cayman S. Only 2 years old, but already a very valuable and well-documented RideCache account. So I hope that gives you a great idea of the power of RideCache for your newer vehicles, even your daily drivers, in addition to those timeless classics. So you can get started today by going to RideCache.com. You can sign up for a free account, which will get you access to one vehicle and everything that we showed on this video except for the events, resources, and people. Or subscribe starting at less than $20 a year, so less than the cost of a single oil change for a great RideCache account for 2 or more vehicles. Thanks for watching.